Hey guys, tonight we're uncovering the forgotten story of women warriors in ancient Japan, fearless fighters who challenged the norms of their time with unmatched skill and bravery. These women weren't just legends, they shaped battles and history in a world dominated by samurai and warlords. Their courage and strength remain an inspiring testament to power beyond gender. If you're ready to discover a hidden chapter of history, this video is for you. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. You find yourself standing at the edge of a quiet forest, the soft rustling of bamboo leaves overhead blending gently with the distant trill of birdsong. The air is cool and fresh, carrying the faint sweet scent of cherry blossoms drifting down like delicate pink snowflakes. Around you, the landscape stretches wide, rolling hills blanketed in emerald moss, mist curling lazily around ancient, towering cedars, and a slow river winding its way toward unseen horizons. This is ancient Japan, a land shaped as much by nature's subtle artistry as by the people who have called it home. Here, mountains rise like silent guardians, cloaked in veils of mist and mystery, while serene rivers hum their endless song beneath canopies of maple and pine. The delicate balance between land and spirit is palpable, inviting you to step softly and open your senses to the world's quiet conversations. You hear the faint tolling of temple bells carried on the breeze, their sound resonating through valleys, and over the hills. The bells call not just to prayer, but to reflection, a reminder of the deep connection between earth and sky, body and soul. Every note seems to vibrate with the whisper of stories long kept in the folds of this land, stories of courage, honor, and the quiet strength of those who walk its paths. As you wander through this timeless setting, notice how the light filters through the leaves, dappling the forest floor in patterns that shift with the breeze. The soft crunch of fallen leaves underfoot and the gentle splash of water from a nearby stream mingle to create a soothing symphony, nature's own healing song. It is here, amid these whispering woods and sacred spaces, that the story of Japan's women warriors begins to unfold. The land itself seems to cradle these tales, a place where myth and reality entwine like the twisting branches overhead. The quiet dignity of the mountains and the ever-flowing rivers mirror the resilience and grace of the women whose lives were woven into this landscape. Their presence is not loud or boastful, but steady and enduring, like the roots of the ancient trees that anchor the soil. Imagine the early days when communities lived close to the earth, relying on its gifts and respecting its power. Life here demanded harmony with nature, with neighbors, and within oneself. The changing seasons painted the rhythm of daily life, and every moment held a lesson in patience and perseverance. It was a world where strength came not just from muscle and sword, but from wisdom, spirit, and the quiet courage to stand firm. The gentle wind carries the soft murmur of voices from distant villages, the laughter of children playing beneath the cherry trees, and the careful footsteps of women moving through fields and forests. These women were more than caretakers of hearth and home. They were protectors, guides, and warriors in their own right. Their stories, often whispered rather than shouted, reflect a balance of fierce loyalty and tender care, bravery and humility. Look closer, and you might see the faint outline of a figure on a misty trail, a woman clad in simple armor, her gaze steady, her movements deliberate. She carries not just weapons, but a deep sense of duty, shaped by the values of honor and family that have long defined this land. Her story is one among many, woven into the fabric of a culture that revered both the strength of the sword and the power of the heart. As you continue your journey through these ancient landscapes, listen to the soft crackle of a distant fire, the gentle rustle of silk garments, and the measured cadence of footsteps on stone paths. These sounds remind you that history is not just found in grand battles or royal decrees, but in the quiet moments, the daily acts of courage and care that build the world anew each day. The mist thickens, wrapping the mountains in a silken shroud as the sun begins to dip low, casting golden hues across the valleys. The air cools further, scented now with pine resin and the faintest trace of incense from a nearby shrine. In this tranquil twilight, you sense the delicate balance of all things, strength and softness, action and stillness, the seen and the unseen. It is within this balance that the legacy of women warriors in ancient Japan took root, blossoming, quietly yet powerfully amid the natural beauty and cultural depth of their world. Their tales may have been nearly forgotten, but like the cherry blossoms, their memory returns each spring, a gentle reminder of resilience and grace. So take a deep breath and let yourself be carried by the sounds and scents of this land, a place where mountains stand timeless, rivers flow endlessly, and the whispers of women warriors continue to echo softly through the bamboo groves. Imagine, just for a moment, the first stirrings of dawn over these hills, the sky painted in soft pinks and blues, the birds beginning their morning chorus, and the first footsteps of a warrior setting out to protect her home and honor. Here, in this serene world, begins a journey of discovery, of strength hidden in silence, of battles fought not only with weapons, but with spirit, and of a history waiting patiently to be heard. Let the gentle wind carry you forward, and with each step, feel yourself drawn deeper into the quiet heart of ancient Japan, a land where nature and humanity dance together in endless harmony, and where the forgotten stories of women warriors await your gentle attention. The soft morning light continues to filter through the trees, warming the earth and awakening the life within. You can almost hear the faint whispers of those who once walked these paths, women whose footsteps left marks not just on the soil, but on history itself. They moved with purpose and grace, balancing tradition with fierce independence, in a world shaped by rigid roles, that as the breeze stirs the bamboo, you catch the scent of wildflowers mingling with the earthy aroma of damp moss and fallen leaves. It's a scent that carries stories of resilience, honor, and the quiet strength required to protect one's family and community. These women, though often unseen by the pages of official history, played roles as guardians, strategists, and skilled warriors. Imagine a small village nestled among these hills, smoke curling from humble rooftops, where mothers teach their daughters not only to care but also to defend. The clang of wooden practice swords rings out softly from a clearing, mingling with the laughter and determined voices of young warriors in training. Their lessons are as much about discipline and respect as about strength, instilling a deep sense of duty that echoes through generations. The rivers nearby murmur gently over smooth stones, reflecting the sky's changing colors as clouds drift lazily above. Here, women learned to harness both the power of nature and their own inner resolve. They were adept with bows and arrows, skilled in horseback riding, and trained in the arts of strategy and self-defense. Their weapons were extensions of their will, wielded with precision born of necessity. That, as you breathe in the calm air, feel the pulse of this ancient land, its quiet majesty and layered histories. The mountains, standing watch for centuries, have seen the rise and fall of clans, the forging of alliances, and the unyielding spirit of those who refused to be forgotten. It's easy to see how the natural world shaped the culture, nurturing a deep connection to the land and to one another. The distant clang of temple bells reminds you of the spiritual undercurrent flowing through every aspect of life here. The women warriors often moved in harmony with these beliefs, drawing strength from rituals, meditation, and the whispered prayers offered before battle or at dawn's first light. Their courage was both physical and spiritual, a delicate balance that anchored their identity. Pause for a moment and let your senses absorb the serene beauty around you. The gentle rustle of leaves, the soft call of a bird perched high in a pine, the faint warmth of the sun filtering through mist. These are the sounds and sensations that shape the lives of women warriors, grounding their fierce determination in a world both harsh and breathtakingly beautiful. The story of these women is not one of loud triumphs or grand battles alone, but of quiet resilience, of moments spent honing skills in shadowed groves, of fierce protection of hearth and home, and of an unbreakable bond with the land that sustained them. Their legacy is woven into the very fabric of this landscape, waiting for curious hearts to rediscover. As the day slowly unfolds, the light shifts, revealing paths that twist through ancient trees and over mossy stones. With each step, you move closer to understanding the depth of these women's lives, their struggles, their victories, and their enduring spirit. Let the calm breath of the mountain air fill your lungs, the soft rustling of the bamboo lull your thoughts, and the quiet strength of this place remind you that history is alive, carried gently on the wind, waiting patiently to be heard again. And so, Beneath the vast, ever-changing sky of ancient Japan, the journey into the world of women warriors begins, a tale of courage whispered softly through the leaves, beckoning you to listen closely and walk quietly alongside those who came before. As the gentle breeze carries the scent of pine and earth, and the distant temple bells fade into a serene hush, you find yourself wrapped in the quiet majesty of this ancient land. The stories of women warriors, woven subtly into the fabric of these mountains and forests, linger like a soft melody, inviting you to rest within their timeless embrace, calm and peaceful. Ready to explore the chapters yet to come, you wake to the soft light filtering through the rice paper screens, the air carrying the faint scent of fresh earth and blooming plum blossoms. The village around you stirs gently, the low murmur of water in the irrigation canals, the rhythmic clacking of wooden tools weaving fibers, and the distant call of birds nesting in the trees. As you step outside, the world reveals a delicate balance of activity and stillness. Women move with quiet purpose, their hands skilled in tasks essential to daily life, spinning silk threads, tending vegetable gardens, and shaping clay vessels. The steady rhythm of their work forms a backdrop to the community's heartbeat, a pulse often overlooked but deeply vital. You might imagine, perhaps, that these tasks are simple or mundane, but their strength woven into each movement. In the soft whisper of weaving threads lies generations of knowledge, a craft that sustains both household and culture. The nimble fingers harvesting rice carry the weight of seasons and survival, choreographed by a connection to the land that runs deeper than words. Beyond the domestic sphere, women's roles stretch like the branches of the sakura trees, reaching into the social and spiritual fabric of their communities. Some lead rituals, invoking ancestral blessings. Others are skilled in herbal remedies, their knowledge passed quietly from mother to daughter, a healing art cloaked in gentle mystery. Perhaps you've heard stories that confine women to hearth and home, but here, in these early days of Japan's story, such views miss the fuller picture. Women's influence spreads in subtle yet profound ways, organizing village gatherings, managing resources, and even bearing arms when circumstances demand. Their resilience threads through every corner of life, a quiet force shaping history. Beneath the surface, imagine the laughter shared during evenings of storytelling, where women's voices carry tales of valor and wit, preserving memories that would otherwise fade. Picture the clever negotiations for land or alliances, where a woman's word can ripple through the village's fortunes. This is a world where power often walks softly, but leaves a lasting impression. And so, as you settle into this serene landscape, notice the gentle strength around you, the hands that build, heal, and protect. Reflect on the richness of these lives, and the many stories waiting patiently to be heard anew. Beyond the familiar, wouldn't you agree that understanding this quieter power invites a deeper appreciation for the tapestry of ancient Japanese society? Here, where tradition and innovation intertwine, women's stories are not just background threads, but vibrant patterns in the fabric of a timeless culture. You step deeper into the rhythm of village life, where every day unfolds like a carefully woven cloth, textured with moments of both toil and tenderness. Imagine the soft rustle of kimono fabric as women move between their tasks, their hands steady and sure. The warmth of the sun on your skin mingles with the earthy scent of freshly tilled soil, grounding you in this living tapestry of community and care. Here, in these simple scenes, you might catch glimpses of skills that belie common assumptions. Women's expertise in cultivating rice paddies is not merely labor, but a profound relationship with the land and the water that nourishes it. Their knowledge of planting seasons and weather patterns reflects a wisdom passed through generations, a quiet authority earned in the fields and by the fireside. You might also imagine the artistry in their weaving, threads drawn taut across looms, dyed with pigments from the earth, forming patterns rich in symbolism. This craft is more than utilitarian. It's an expression of identity, a storytelling medium in silk and cotton that connects the wearer to clan and culture. And as you wander, you notice the communal exchanges, baskets of freshly harvested vegetables passed between neighbors, the shared laughter during the weaving circles, and the murmured prayers offered before meals. These moments reveal the social fabric where women's roles knit tightly into the daily life of the village. But strength shows in unexpected forms, too. Picture a mother teaching her children the art of archery, her steady gaze encouraging precision and focus. Envision women gathering in the twilight to share songs and tales of legendary heroines, stories that kindle courage and keep history alive. There's also a subtle defiance in these acts, a quiet assertion that the world of women is complex and vital, far beyond the confines often imagined. You might smile at the thought that while men prepare for battle, women ensure the village's survival through both nurture and strategic acumen. So as you breathe in the scents of pine and incense, surrounded by the gentle hum of daily life, reflect on the power that flows through these scenes, a power woven from resilience, skill, and community. It's a reminder that the story of women in ancient Japan is as layered and enduring as the mountains themselves. You step gently into a world where myth and reality entwine, where stories of legendary women flicker like lanterns in the night, illuminating fierce battles, whispered legends, and spirits that move between worlds. Imagine standing on a misty hillside, the soft crunch of fallen leaves beneath your feet, as tales passed down through generations begin to unfold around you, carried on the wind and in the voices of storytellers. Picture a fierce princess, her armor gleaming in the sun's early light, standing resolute amid the chaos of a battlefield. Her sword is an extension of her will, her courage a beacon to those around her. The clash of steel and the thunderous beat of war drums fill the air as you sense the fiery intensity of her fight, not just against enemies, but for honor, for her people, for survival. The scent of smoke mingles with the iron tang of blood, yet through the chaos, her determination shines unwavering. Now, soften your senses to a different scene, an ethereal vision of a spirit woman shimmering in the twilight. She moved silently through bamboo groves, her presence like a gentle breeze, stirring the cherry blossoms. Her eyes hold ancient wisdom, and her voice soft, yet commanding speaks of protection, guidance, and the mysteries beyond the mortal realm. Around her, fireflies flicker like stars caught close to earth, and the quiet hum of cicadas fills the warm evening air. These figures, princesses, warriors, spirits, are more than mere tales. They carry deep symbolic meaning. They represent strength beyond physical might, embodying resilience, justice, and the sacred feminine energy that pulses through ancient Japanese culture. Each story offers inspiration, a mirror reflecting the potential and power of women throughout time. Imagine the crackle of a fire as an elder begins a whispered tale of Tomogo-zan, the celebrated female samurai whose fierce skill and loyalty have echoed through centuries. Feel the rhythm of the storytelling, the ebb and flow, like a gentle river carrying you back to a world where women could wield sword and strategy with equal grace. Listen closely to the murmurs of awe and admiration as the legend breathes life. Then, let your mind wander to other tales of celestial women who descend from the heavens, of mountain spirits who protect villages, and of heroines who led clans through hardship. Each narrative is a thread in a vast tapestry woven from courage, faith, and the complex roles women held in shaping society and belief. These stories served not only as entertainment but as guiding lights, teaching values and offering role models. In societies where women's contributions were often overshadowed, the mythic women inspired real women, encouraging them to find strength in adversity, to lead with wisdom, and to embrace their own stories with pride. Feel the quiet power of these legends settling around you like a comforting shawl. They invite you to pause, to listen deeply, and to appreciate the rich, layered history of women, warriors, and spirits in ancient Japan, a history woven into the very fabric of the land's soul. As you linger in the glow of these stories, imagine the soft rustle of silk kimonos brushing across tatami mats, the delicate clink of lacquered cups holding fragrant tea shared in quiet moments between battles and duties. These women, both legendary and everyday, wove strength into the very fabric of life. Their deeds whispered alongside the rustling bamboo and the song of distant temple bells. Consider how the tale of Empress Jingu, said to have led armies across the sea, blends history and myth. Feel the salty ocean breeze on your face. Hear the steady cadence of oars dipping rhythmically into the water, and sense the resolve of a woman defying expectations, steering not just a fleet but the course of history. Her story reminds us that leadership, courage, and determination transcend time and circumstance. And then there are the komi, The spirits revered in Shinto traditions, some gentle and nurturing, others fierce and protective. Imagine the flicker of torches lighting ancient shrines nestled in dense forests, the scent of sandalwood and incense drifting through the air as prayers rise like soft melodies. These divine women are guardians of the land and people, their presence felt in the whispering winds and the quiet strength of the mountains. The legends tell of onna bugeisha, female warriors trained in the arts of combat and strategy, stepping beyond domestic spheres to defend their homes and honor. Picture them clad in lacquered armor, poised beneath the cherry blossoms, their bows drawn taut, eyes steady and focused. The spring air carries the faint scent of blooming flowers and the tension of impending battle. Through all these scenes, notice the deep reverence for balance between strength and grace, spirit and body, duty and compassion. These stories invite you to see women not just as characters in history or myth, but as embodiments of timeless qualities that resonate still. Let the gentle cadence of these tales settle over you like a soft rain, soothing and steady. As you breathe in the quiet power and resilience embedded in each story, allow yourself to feel connected to the women who came before, to the land that holds their memory, and to the unfolding narrative of courage that spans ages. You step quietly into the world of the onna bugeisha, the female warriors of ancient Japan, a striking blend of grace, strength, and fierce resolve. Imagine the weight of lacquered armor settling on shoulders, each plate meticulously crafted to protect, yet allow movement. Feel the cool steel of a katana's hilt in steady hands, the comforting balance as if the sword were an extension of the body itself. Training was a daily rhythm for these women, much like the steady pulse of a temple bell in the early morning. You can almost hear the soft thud of wooden practiced swords against padded targets, the measured breathing as balance and precision are honed. It was a discipline that demanded patience, focus, and the occasional reminder that a warrior's elegance isn't just about poise. It's about readiness to leap into action at a moment's notice. Picture the onna bugeisha moving through misty forests and rugged hills, their footsteps as silent as the falling cherry blossoms. Their lives weren't solely defined by battle. They balanced the expectations of family, honor, and society with the unwavering call to defend their homes and loved ones. It's a delicate dance, wearing the armor of war, yet embodying the nurturing spirit often attributed to women. In battle, these warriors were a formidable presence. The clash of swords echoed beneath the banners of clans, while their battle cries intertwined with the rush of arrows and the pounding of hooves. Yet beyond the chaos, there was strategy, an acute awareness of the terrain, and a deep understanding of both offense and defense. Their role was not just to fight, but to protect the guardians of household, gates, and the defenders of honor when the men were away or lost. There's a touch of lightness in imagining the onna bugeisha juggling warrior drills with the daily rituals of tea ceremonies or tending to the gardens, the softness of their world contrasting with the sharp edges of battle. It's a reminder that their strength was not just physical, but also woven into the very fabric of their culture and family ties. You might wonder about the challenges they faced. Societal whispers about stepping beyond the traditional roles, the physical strain of armor and training, and the burden of expectation. Yet, these women carved their place with quiet dignity and fierce determination, their stories quietly threading through the history of Japan. So as you imagine the onna bugeisha, feel the rhythm of their footsteps, the whisper of silk beneath armor plates, and the steady grip on the sword that symbolizes a warrior's spirit. They stand not just as fighters, but as living bridges between strength and grace, tradition and courage. The training of an onna bugeisha began early, often alongside the young men of the clan. Their days were filled with rigorous exercises, archery practice, swordsmanship drills, horseback riding when possible, and lessons in strategy. Imagine the soft rustle of silk robes giving way to sturdier training garb, the sharp snap of a bamboo shinai slicing through the air, and the steady thump of feet against the dirt ground. The armor they wore was both functional and symbolic. Crafted carefully from layers of lacquered leather and iron plates, it was designed to protect without sacrificing agility. Feel the weight of it settling on your shoulders, heavy yet reassuring, a second skin that speaks of discipline and readiness. There was the kabuto, the helmet often adorned with crests or family emblems, and the coat, armored sleeves guarding the arms during fierce combat. Each piece told a story of heritage and honor. Life as a female warrior was a constant balancing act. While mastering martial skills, they were also caretakers of their households and participants in cultural practices. The tea ceremony, calligraphy, poetry, these refined arts provided a counterbalance to the roughness of war. Picture the soft steam rising from a porcelain cup, the delicate brushstrokes on rice paper, contrasting with the sharp clang of swords in training. Despite their prowess, societal expectations still loomed large. Women were expected to be modest, obedient, and primarily focused on family. The onna bugeisha walked a fine line, pushing boundaries quietly while embodying the ideals of loyalty and service. It was this blend of strength and subtlety that made their role so unique and powerful. On the battlefield, their presence was both inspiring and strategic. They often defended fortresses and homes during times of conflict, stepping in when the men were away or had fallen. Imagine the tension in the air as they stood guard, the tension broken by the steady rhythm of their swordplay. Their courage was whispered among the villagers, women who could face danger with unwavering resolve. You can almost hear the clash of steel, the quick footsteps on uneven ground, and the occasional shout of command as these warriors maneuvered with precision. Yet, amid the chaos, there was a calmness, an inner focus born from years of training and deep commitment. What makes the onna bugeisha truly remarkable is their legacy, not just as fighters but as symbols of empowerment and resilience. They remind us that strength wears many forms, often hidden beneath layers of tradition and expectation. You step into a quiet training hall, where the scent of polished wood mingles gently with a faint trace of incense drifting from a corner altar. The light filters softly through papered shoshi screens, casting a warm glow on polished floors worn smooth by countless footsteps. Around you, the steady rhythm of wooden swords striking practice dummies and the crisp twang of bowstrings being drawn weave together, creating a tranquil yet focused symphony. Imagine the feel of a naginata, a long, graceful pole weapon favored by many onna bugeisha. Its shaft, smooth yet sturdy, fits snugly in your hands, while the curved blade glimmers faintly in the muted light. This weapon was prized for its reach and versatility, allowing a warrior to keep opponents at bay while delivering precise, flowing strikes. Its design blends elegance with deadly efficiency, perfectly suited to the strength and agility cultivated through rigorous training. As you watch, a group of women moves through a series of precise, choreographed movements, blending attack and defense. Their steps are deliberate yet fluid, muscles honed through discipline and repetition. Each strike of the naginata cuts through the air with purpose, accompanied by the sharp intake of breath and the soft footfalls on the wooden floor. The discipline here is palpable, but so is the grace, a balance of power and poise. Nearby, the sound of bows being strung adds a different texture to the scene. The onna bugeisha were skilled archers, and their bows, long, elegant, and carefully crafted, demanded steady hands and keen eyes. The subtle snap of a bowstring followed by the soft thump of an arrow hitting a target echoes faintly, punctuating the quiet focus of the hall. You notice how the training integrates not just physical conditioning, but also mental clarity. Faint aroma of incense serves as a reminder of the spiritual aspect of their practice. Discipline, honor, and mindfulness woven seamlessly with martial skill. The atmosphere invites you to slow your breath, feel each movement, and appreciate the centuries of tradition carried in every gesture. It's easy to imagine the challenges of mastering such weapons, the naginatas, length demanding precise footwork, the bow requiring steady concentration and strength. Yet, amidst the rigor, there's a lightness, a playful joke here, a shared smile between trainees, a moment of quiet laughter breaking the solemnity. After all, even the fiercest warrior appreciates a brief respite from the serious work of honing her craft. The onna bugeisha trained not only for the battlefield, but for the defense of their homes and families. Their weapons, extensions of their will and resilience. The naginata, with its sweeping arcs and thrusting strikes, became a symbol of feminine strength and strategic prowess, offering both protection and presence. As the practice session winds down, you can almost feel the lingering energy in the air, the satisfying ache of muscles pushed to their limits. the calm certainty that comes from mastery, and the quiet confidence of those who know their skills can safeguard all they hold dear. So take a moment to breathe deeply, absorbing the blend of strength and serenity, and picture yourself stepping into this ancient world where women wielded power with both sword and spirit. You settle into the rhythm of this ancient training space, where each movement tells a story of dedication and resilience. Imagine the rough texture of the wooden practice swords called bokken gripping your palms, worn smooth from countless drills. The air carries a faint earthy scent, a mix of sweat, wood, and incense smoke curling lazily from a small burner nearby. The naginata stands out, not only for its physical elegance, but for the history woven into its every curve. Its long pole, often crafted from sturdy yew or oak, is balanced perfectly to allow sweeping strikes and quick changes in direction. The blade, slender and curved like a falcon's wing, gleams softly even in the muted light of the hall. Handling it requires strength, yes, but also a dancer's grace-siege movement, deliberate and fluid. You hear the soft thud of feet adjusting. Stance, the subtle scrape as toes find their place on the polished floor. Balance is key here. As is timing, the difference between a defensive block and a swift counterattack is often measured in a heartbeat. Training sessions often began with breathing exercises, linking breath to movement in a seamless flow. This connection grounded the onna bugeisha, helping sharpen focus and calm the mind. The scent of incense is no accident. It fosters a meditative atmosphere where warrior and spirit unite. Watching the archery practice nearby, you notice the tension in the bowstring as it's drawn taut, the slow inhale of breath, then the release, a whisper of sound as the arrow slices through the air. The patience required for archery mirrors the discipline of swordplay, each demanding both strength and subtlety. There's a quiet camaraderie in the hall glances exchanged, encouraging nods, the occasional wry smile when a trainee fumbles a move. The balance of seriousness and light-heartedness keeps the spirit alive amid the hard work. The weapons training isn't just about combat techniques, it's about embodying a warrior's mindset, alertness, resilience, and grace under pressure. The naginata in particular allowed women to defend their homes effectively, especially when battles drew near or when men were away. You might imagine the clang of metal on metal, the whispered instructions of a master, and the rhythmic chants that sometimes accompanied drills to keep timing precise and spirits high. As your imagination settles, picture the weariness that follows a long day of training, the pleasant ache in muscles, the cool touch of a damp cloth on a tired brow, and the sense of pride in growing stronger with each practice. You find yourself stepping gently into the twilight of the heion, period, a time of delicate elegance and simmering unrest. The air carries a cool hush, punctuated by the soft flicker of lantern light casting long shadows against the wooden walls of a sturdy castle nestled amidst dense forests. It's here, in this quiet realm of courtly refinement and whispered secrets, that women warriors quietly assumed their roles as guardians of home and honor. Imagine the sensation of cool stone beneath your feet as you move through narrow hallways, lined with sliding shoji screens, their translucent paper glowing faintly in the lantern light. The scent of burning incense lingers faintly, mixing with the crisp night air slipping in through open windows. The atmosphere is taut but composed, a serene calm that belies the vigilance kept by these women who have learned to balance grace with readiness. Picture a young woman, her kimono adjusted neatly, seated near the hearth where a small fire crackles softly, the warmth just enough to take the edge off the chill. She's sharpening a naginata, the curved blade gleaming under the firelight, her fingers deft and sure, training for moments like this when her skills could mean the difference between safety and chaos, has been woven into her daily life. Her eyes, calm yet alert, scan the horizon beyond the castle walls as a gentle breeze rustles the paper screens. Whispering through the courtyards, you can almost hear the faint rustling of silk as the women move silently through their patrols, stepping lightly on wooden floors to avoid waking sleeping children or drawing the attention of any unwelcome visitors. Their footsteps blend with the soft calls of nightbirds and the distant rustle of bamboo groves swaying in the moonlit wind. Strategic meetings take place in shadowed alcoves, voices hushed but purposeful. Plans are laid with careful consideration, placement of guards, the timing of signal fires, the secret routes known only to trusted few. These women are not mere bystanders in the struggles of the era. They are tacticians and defenders, their wisdom earned through experience and necessity. You sense the tension beneath the surface, the knowledge that danger could arrive with the dawn or under the cloak of night. Yet, there's also a quiet dignity in their watchfulness, a resolute determination to protect what they hold dear without fanfare or grand displays. The castle itself is a fortress of both wood and willpower. Heavy beams support the ceilings, and sturdy gates guard the entrance. In the outer courtyard, a cluster of women prepare arrows and reinforce barriers, their hands steady despite the late hour. Nearby, the low murmur of prayers mixes with the metallic clink of armor being readied, a ritual blending spiritual strength with martial readiness. Imagine yourself pausing for a moment at the edge of a tower, gazing out over the rolling hills, bathed in silver moonlight. The scent of pine is fresh, and the cool air carries a faint promise of rain. Below, the village sleeps, unaware of the guardians standing watch, women whose courage is woven into the very fabric of this land. The gentle crackle of fire pits offers warmth and light for these sentinels, a comforting counterpoint to the stillness and the unknown. Their stories are ones of resilience, not sung loudly, but lived quietly, with grace and unwavering strength. You feel the rhythm of their nights, vigilant yet calm, prepared yet peaceful. Each breath drawn in this delicate balance between tranquility and alertness carries the weight of generations who stood firm when it mattered most. And so, in this soft glow of lanterns and whispered resolve, you come to understand the true heart of these women warriors, their devotion not just to battle, but to home, family, and honor. It is a legacy carried not with swords alone, but with the steady courage that flows beneath every silent watch, and every quiet prayer whispered beneath the stars. Feel the calm strength in that stillness. Imagine the steady pulse of hearts united in purpose, a gentle yet unbreakable force, protecting a world where beauty and bravery intertwine. As the night deepens, you settle into this scene of silent guardianship, allowing the soft flicker of lantern flames, the rustle of silk, the distant call of an owl to lull you into a peaceful reverie, wrapped in the timeless story of women who stood watch. Steady as the mountains themselves, you now find yourself moving softly through the intimate spaces where these women trained not only their bodies, but their minds. Hours spent mastering both the art of defense and the subtleties of strategy. In a quiet dojo warmed by the faint glow of lanterns, you can hear the rhythmic thud of wooden practice weapons meeting with precision, the sharp breath of focus filling the air. The naginata gracefully curved pole weapon is the signature tool of the onna bugeisha. Imagine its smooth wooden shaft resting comfortably in your hands, the weight balanced perfectly as you sweep through practiced movements. The blade, honed to a keen edge, glints under the soft light, a reminder of the power wielded with careful grace. This weapon, favored for its reach and versatility, allowed women warriors to keep enemies at bay, combining agility with strength. Nearby, the soft creak of bamboo boughs being strung adds to the atmosphere. The draw of a bowstring, the release of an arrow, the whisper of flight, all are sounds intertwined with survival and protection. You feel the tension and release in your own breath, mirroring the calm control demanded of these warriors. Training was rigorous, blending physical endurance with mental discipline. You can almost taste the earthy scent of worn tatami mats and the faint hint of incense used to cleanse the space. Sweat beads quietly as warriors repeat their kata, movements flowing like water yet grounded in firm resolve. Yet despite the solemnity, moments of lightness flicker through gentle laughter as a novice fumbles a move, teasing remarks about the stubbornness of certain weapons, or the challenge of balancing on slippery floors after a rain. These glimpses remind you that behind the armor and discipline, these were real people, resilient, spirited, and human. The naginata in particular holds a special place. Its design reflects the needs of women warriors, long enough to keep opponents distant, yet light enough for swift maneuvering. Imagine the feel of its polished wood, the cold touch of its metal blade, and the rhythmic motion as it arcs through the air in practiced precision. Complementing the naginata were smaller blades, daggers, tucked discreetly for close defense, and the yumitha asymmetrical longbow used with surprising skill. The artistry of wielding these weapons was matched only by the warrior's understanding of terrain, timing, and the element of surprise. You can hear the soft shuffle of feet, the steady inhale and exhale as focus sharpens, and the crisp snap of a wooden sword striking a target. Training was not just about strength, but also about cultivating patience, balance, and harmony, principles deeply rooted in Japanese culture. Visualize the warriors moving in fluid unison, their kimonos swirling lightly with each step, hair bound tight to prevent distraction. The room hums with concentration, punctuated by the occasional encouragement or correction from a seasoned instructor. Beyond physical prowess, training also embraced mental fortitude. Meditation and breathing exercises were integral, helping warriors maintain calm amid chaos. You sense the stillness within the room, a peaceful center amidst the vigorous practice. The scent of sandalwood lingers, blending with the natural aroma of polished wood and fresh air flowing through open shoshi screens. These sensory details draw you deeper into the world where discipline and grace walk hand in hand. Imagine, too, the quiet moments after practice, sharing tea, exchanging stories, laughter softening the edges of the day. The camaraderie among these women forged bonds as strong as any armor, weaving a support system of shared strength. Through this rich tapestry of training and tradition, you begin to understand the delicate balance, the onna bugeisha myth, shaped by necessity but also by culture, grace, and unwavering dedication to protecting what mattered most. As your breath slows and the echoes of movement fade, you rest in the knowledge that this blend of power and poise was not only a physical art, but a deeply human expression of courage, resilience, and honor. Let this calm strength settle within you, carried gently by the soft rustle of fabric and the distant call of a nightingale. As you drift alongside the enduring spirit of these remarkable women, the room quiets, the last echoes of practice fading into the gentle stillness. You feel the warmth of shared purpose and the soft weight of history settling around you. The onna bugeisha's legacy, carried in every measured breath and graceful movement, invites you to rest, now cradled in the calm strength of warriors past. Their spirit woven softly into the night, you step gently into the unfolding story of Tomo goes on, a figure cloaked in the mists of time, yet as vivid as the clash of swords under a stormy sky. Imagine the rising sun casting long shadows over rolling hills, where the distant thud of war drums begins a steady heartbeat that quickens with the promise of battle. This is a world where courage is carved out in sweat and steel, and where a woman's valor would carve her name deep into the annals of history. Tomoe goes on, moves through this scene with a grace that belies the fierce warrior within. Picture her armor, worn and yet shining faintly in the dawn light. Every strap and plate a testament to countless skirmishes. The scent of damp earth mingles with the sharp tang of steel, and the air vibrates with the rhythm of hooves and clashing blades. You can almost hear her steady breaths, measured and calm amid the chaos, a quiet strength that steadies those around her. Her story is more than just battles fought and won. It's a dance of contrasts. When the war cries fade, Tomo retreats into moments of solitude, where the whispering bamboo groves cradle her thoughts, and the gentle rustle of leaves becomes a balm for the spirit. Imagine her seated beside a tranquil stream, the water's soft murmur reflecting the flicker of candlelight within a humble tent. Here, beneath the vast sky, she contemplates the weight of honor and the cost of conflict, quiet moments that ground her indomitable spirit. Throughout her life, Tomo was both fierce and thoughtful, a blend of warrior's fire and the steady coolness of resolve. You can feel the pulse of her legend beating through the ages, inspiring those who hear it to find strength within themselves. Her tale is whispered in the quiet corners of tea houses and echoed in the pages of ancient scrolls, a timeless reminder that courage knows no bounds. She is said to have led troops with the fierce precision of a seasoned general, her long, elegant pole weapon slicing through the air with deadly grace. Imagine the fierce clash of battle, steel ringing against steel, the shouts of warriors mingling with the pounding of hoofs on the soft earth. In the heat of combat, Tomo's presence was a force that rallied spirits and turned tides. Yet, beyond the battlefield, there is a quieter tale woven into the fabric of her life, a tale of loyalty to her lord and comrades, of navigating the complex loyalties and honor codes that define the samurai way. You might picture her sharing a simple meal beneath the shelter of ancient pines, the flicker of a lantern casting soft shadows on weathered faces, the silence between words filled with unspoken respect. Stories tell of her bravery in defending her lord's lands, and of the poignant moments when duty and desire pulled in opposing directions. Some say she vanished into the mountains, choosing solitude over court intrigue. Others whisper of love and loss that shaped her final days. Each version a brushstroke, painting the portrait of a woman both mythic and deeply human. Her legacy continues to ripple through time, not only as a symbol of martial skill, but as an emblem of resilience and empowerment. You might hear her name spoken in quiet reverence, inspiring modern women warriors and everyday heroes alike. As you settle into the calm of this story's close, let the echoes of Tomogozen's strength and grace linger softly around you, a gentle reminder of the extraordinary courage that can rise from ordinary beginnings. You find yourself at the heart of the late 12th century, where the Genpei War unfolds, a conflict that stitches together the fates of the Taira and Minamoto clans across the rugged landscapes of Japan. The air is thick with anticipation, the distant clang of armor, the murmur of plotting voices carried on the breeze. Picture the sprawling castles and humble strongholds, their walls standing firm against the tides of war, and within them, the silent strength of women warriors, whose roles stretch beyond the expected confines of hearth and home. You sense their quiet vigilance, their sharp eyes and steady hands, as they navigate a world where the stakes are as high as the jagged peaks surrounding them. The corridors of these fortresses hold whispered secrets, the soft rustle of kimonos, blending with hushed conversations about impending attacks or vital intelligence. Imagine yourself as a shadow moving alongside these women, delivering messages concealed within folded papers, their contents carrying the weight of entire clans. Survival. Feel the tension as night descends. Lanterns flicker, casting dancing shadows, and you hear the distant tramp of soldiers preparing for battle. Yet, these women are not mere spectators, they are strategists, defenders, and spies. Their courage is woven into every silent step, every carefully planned maneuver. Through your ears, the soundscape shifts to the war camps where women tend to wounded warriors, bandaging and soothing with hands as skilled in care as they are in combat. Their resolve is as much a shield as any armor. Reflect on the duality of their existence, the balancing act of loyalty to family and clan, the nurturing of life amidst destruction. It's a dance of shadows and light, strength and subtlety. Imagine now the intricate networks of communication these women maintain, through coded words, hidden symbols, and secret meetings under the veil of darkness. They shape the course of conflict with intelligence and grace. As the battle lines shift, so do the roles of these remarkable women, sometimes on the front lines, sometimes behind the scenes. Action, echoing with bravery that history too often whispers about rather than shouts. In this complex web of alliances and rivalries, you perceive how their influence ripples through the fabric of the war, binding loyalty and honor with courage and resilience. Allow yourself to feel the quiet thunder of their footsteps in the corridors of power, and the soft rustling of silk mingled with the sharp edge of steel, a testament to their unwavering commitment. You find yourself drawn deeper into the unfolding drama of the Genpei War, where the women of the clans move with quiet determination through a world marked by shifting alliances and unending conflict. Picture the faint glow of lanterns illuminating faces hardened by responsibility, but softened by fierce loyalty. Imagine standing beside a woman warrior, as she listens intently to the whispered plans of her clan's leaders. Her eyes reflect the flickering flames, steady and unyielding. You can almost feel the weight of her armor and the warmth of her resolve, grounded in centuries of tradition, yet blazing with individual strength. The night is alive with sounds, a distant rumble of marching feet, the crackle of campfires, and the soft murmur of prayers for protection and victory. These women are both participants and guardians of this intense world, navigating the delicate balance between nurture and warfare. Visualize the secret meetings held in shadowed rooms, where strategies are hashed out, where a single misstep could cost lives, and where the voices of women carry wisdom and resolve. They are messengers, tacticians, and fierce protectors of their kin. Feel the tension of a night watch, where a woman stands silent and alert, listening for the faintest whisper of an approaching enemy. The cool night air brushes against her face, mingling with the steady rhythm of her breathing. The heartbeat of vigilance. You hear the soft footsteps of a courier weaving through the labyrinth of alleys and fortifications, carrying urgent news that could shift the balance of power. The courage it takes to move unseen, to slip past guards and dangers, is palpable. Now sense the quiet moments amidst chaos, the brief pauses where women tend to the wounded, offering comfort and strength with gentle hands. The scent of herbs, the touch of a cooling cloth, the soothing words spoken softly against the backdrop of distant battle, reflect on the resilience required to hold these roles. Warrior caregiver, speech demanding a different form of courage, but united by an unbreakable spirit. Imagine the intricate web of loyalties woven by these women, binding together families and clans with invisible threads of trust and honor. Their influence reaches far beyond the battlefield, shaping the course of the war with every calculated step. You can almost see the interplay of light and shadow, the glint of steel mingling with the soft folds of kimono fabric, a testament to a life lived on the edge of tradition and change. As dawn breaks, picture the women standing steadfast, ready to face whatever the new day brings, their hearts beating in time with the rising sun and the enduring spirit of their people. And with that steady dawn light filtering softly through the trees, the story of these women warriors lingers quiet but unyielding, much like the gentle strength you've been tracing alongside them, their courage woven into the very fabric of ancient Japan's turbulent times, their legacy whispering through the ages, inviting you to carry their spirit quietly forward. You settle into the rhythm of the story, as you imagine the careful preparation that went into the armor and attire of Japan's women warriors. The weight of tradition and practicality intertwines in every piece they wore, a dance between protection, identity, and symbolism. Picture the soft yet resilient silk undergarments, worn close to the skin, offering a surprising comfort beneath. The more rigid layers, you can almost feel the gentle brush of silk threads, worn smooth by years of movement and ritual. It's a fabric that whispers stories of femininity, even amidst the demands of battle. Layered above this, leather straps and pads add sturdiness, rough to the touch, yet flexible enough to allow swift motion, the kind necessary when balancing on the edge of a battlefield or moving stealthily through a forest. Imagine running your fingers over the grainy surface, feeling the durable quality that made it invaluable for these female warriors. Then comes the clink of metal, the armor plates forged to protect vital areas. Envision the steady, reassuring sound of metal overlapping as you adjust a cuirass or secure a shoulder guard. The metal feels cool and smooth in your hands, yet it bears the marks of countless battles, tiny dents and scratches telling tales of close calls and fierce defense. You sense the weight, the balance between safety and the burden it posed. Beyond protection, these elements carry deep symbolic meaning. The patterns etched onto the armor, the colors woven into the fabrics, all spoke of the warrior's clan, status, and personal valor. Rich indigos and reds, intricate family crests, each piece a silent statement of identity and honor. You can almost see the proud gleam in a warrior's eyes as she dons these symbols before facing the uncertainties of war. Of course, wearing such attire wasn't without its challenges. The layers could be stiff and cumbersome, sometimes awkward, for the agile movements demanded on the battlefield. You might imagine the occasional fumbling moment, a hurried adjustment of a tangled cord, or the clumsy clang of armor in a confined space, perhaps prompting a quiet chuckle amid the tension. After all, even the most disciplined warriors had to navigate these little practicalities. Helmets, often ornate yet functional, framed faces with a balance of protection and presence. You feel the cool metal pressed gently against the skin, sometimes lined with soft fabric to cushion the head, yet always a barrier between the warrior and the outside world. These helmets could carry symbolic crests or decorations, signaling rank or achievements, turning the headgear into a crown of sorts, a quiet nod to the wearer's power. Gloves and boots completed the ensemble. The thick leather of the gloves, molded over fingers, skilled in wielding swords or bows, rough yet dependable. Boots, sometimes layered with metal plates, protected feet on uneven terrain, their soles worn by long marches and steady footing. Each item, while functional, was a piece of a larger puzzle, the warrior's identity forged as much by her armor as by her courage. You might pause to imagine the quiet moments before battle, the meticulous care in adjusting each strap, checking every buckle, the rhythmic sounds, the soft rustle of fabric, the metallic clink of chainmail, the whispered prayers for safety and strength. It's a ritual in itself, a calm within the storm, grounding the warrior in both body and spirit. The interplay of softness and hardness in their attire mirrors the dual nature of these women, graceful yet fierce, gentle yet unyielding. Through the textures and sounds of their armor, you can sense the resilience woven into every thread and forged into every plate. And beyond the battlefield, the symbolic dress carried stories forward, weaving into the fabric of culture and memory. Each garment, each piece of armor, was a testament to a woman's place in a world where strength wore many faces. Imagine now the sun filtering through leaves as a warrior stands poised, the gentle clink of armor blending with the rustling bamboo, the weight of her gear balanced with the lightness of purpose, a silent song of readiness and honor. With this vivid picture, you feel a deep respect for the craftsmanship and spirit behind the attire, a quiet celebration of the women who wore it, prepared to protect, to fight, and to inspire. As you linger in this moment, it's easy to imagine the daily challenges these warriors face, not just from enemies, but from their very armor. The intricate layers sometimes made simple tasks, like mounting a horse or moving swiftly through dense forest, a test of patience and skill. You might picture a soft sigh or a quiet grin shared among comrades as they adjusted their gear, reminding each other that even the fiercest warriors had moments of human vulnerability. And yet, these practical concerns were balanced by a profound sense of pride. Wearing this armor was more than protection, it was a declaration of identity. The carefully crafted patterns, the colors chosen, the very weight of the metal were worn as badges of honor. Each scratch and dent whispered stories of battles survived, loyalty upheld, and traditions honored. Imagine how the morning light would catch on polished plates, casting dappled reflections on the ground as warriors prepared to leave their homes. The scent of oiled leather mingled with the crisp air, while the muted sounds of metal clinking and fabric rustling created a quiet symphony of readiness. Sometimes, you might catch a glimpse of the softer touches hidden beneath the armor, silk scarf tied just so, a small charm tucked into a pocket for protection, or the careful braiding of hair to fit neatly under a helmet. These details revealed the deeply personal nature of their battle attire, blending practicality with the human need for comfort and connection. And just as armor shields the body, these garments shielded legacy stories passed down through generations, of women who balanced strength with compassion, tradition with change. Their attire became a living testament to their resilience and their place in history. As the day unfolds, you can almost hear the rhythmic footsteps of these women warriors moving in unison, the soft swish of fabric, the echoing clash of swords in training grounds, and the distant calls that marked the passage of time in their lives. Each sound a thread weaving together the tapestry of a forgotten but vibrant world. You find yourself stepping softly through a tranquil forest path, where shafts of morning light pierce the canopy, dappling the earth in golden patterns. The gentle scent of pine mingles with the faint, lingering aroma of incense, curling in delicate spirals toward the clear blue sky. Somewhere nearby, a distant bell tolls a low, resonant sound that carries a weight of centuries, of sacred spaces and quiet devotion. This is the world where the women warriors of ancient Japan drew not only their strength of arm, but the quiet resilience of spirit. Before the clang of swords and the clash of armor, before the rush of battle, there was this stillness, a moment to connect with forces beyond the tangible. In the heart of these moments is Shinto, the indigenous spirituality of Japan, where the kami spirits residing in natural phenomena like rivers, mountains, and even the rustle of leaves are honored and sought for guidance. Imagine a small shrine nestled among moss-covered stones, its wooden frame weathered yet vibrant, lanterns hanging like gentle stars, flickering softly against the twilight. Women warriors, donning their armor, pause here, their hands, calloused, yet steady, press against the cool wood of the Torii gate. They whisper prayers, their voices a hushed melody blending with the wind. The prayers ask not just for victory, but for balance, the harmony between human action and the vast web of life. Buddhism, arriving centuries later, weaves into this tapestry of belief, offering meditative practices and philosophical depth. Picture a quiet temple courtyard, stone pathways framed by blossoming cherry trees, petals falling like gentle snow. Inside, the rhythmic chant of sutras fills the air, a soothing cadence that echoes in the stillness. Women warriors, perhaps cloaked in simple robes away from the battlefield, sit in meditation, their breaths slow and deliberate. This practice nurtures a mind as disciplined as their bodies, cultivating compassion, focus, and an acceptance of impermanence, reminder that life and death are intertwined. Before battle, these spiritual rituals become anchors. Lighting incense sticks, they watch the tendrils of smoke spiral upward, each curl carrying hopes, fears, and intentions. The soft glow of candles casts dancing shadows on their faces, reflecting determination tempered with serenity. Through Shinto purification rites, they cleanse both body and spirit. Water poured over hands, symbolic and literal washing away of impurities, preparing them to face the trials ahead with clarity. The rhythmic beating of taiko drums in nearby ceremonies pulses like the heartbeat of the earth itself, grounding warriors in the moment. The intertwining of these faiths offers a unique lens on courage, not merely as boldness or strength, but as a deep, calm endurance, born from harmony with nature and self. In these sacred spaces, the women warriors find a reservoir of power that transcends the physical, where healing touches both wounds and spirits. Imagine the subtle interplay between the rustle of silk robes, the metallic clink of armor, and the faint chanting that lingers after prayers. These layers of sound and sensation create a profound atmosphere where the sacred meets the martial. And as you breathe in this serene world, notice how spirituality and warrior spirit are not opposing forces but partners, each nurturing the other in an elegant dance. The belief in kami, the meditative practices of Buddhism, and the rituals of purification all weave together, shaping the hearts and minds of these remarkable women. It's in this balance that they stand tall, not only as fierce defenders of their homes and clans, but as embodiments of resilience, grace, and profound inner strength. The quiet moments before battle, steeped in prayer and meditation, echo across time as a testament to the power of faith, intertwined with the warrior's path. You find yourself standing at the threshold of a shaded grove, where sunlight filters softly through ancient cedars, dappling the mossy floor with shifting patterns. The air is rich with the scent of sandalwood, incense mingling with fresh earth, and blossoming camellias, a fragrant invitation into a world where the spiritual and the martial are woven tightly together. Here, in this sacred space, women warriors prepare not just their weapons but their minds and hearts, drawing on centuries of Shinto and Buddhist tradition that shaped their understanding of courage and healing. Imagine a gentle breeze stirring the fluttering of prayer flags, their soft rustling like whispered blessings carried across time. The rhythmic toll of a distant temple bell resonates deeply, grounding you in this moment of sacred stillness. Before the clash of swords and the heat of battle, these warriors engage in rituals to center themselves, a blend of outward gestures and inward reflection. Picture them performing the masagi, a Shinto purification ritual involving the washing of hands and face with cold water drawn from a nearby stream, cleansing impurities and inviting clarity. The water's touch is sharp, yet refreshing, awakening senses dulled by anticipation and uncertainty. As droplets fall and merge with the earth, they symbolize renewal and readiness, body, mind, and spirit aligned. Then there are the silent moments of meditation, a Buddhist gift to calm the turbulent mind. Visualize women seated in serene temple, gardens, eyes closed, breathing measured and deep, the soft hum of sutras weaving through the air like a comforting embrace. In these moments, the boundary between self and world blurs. The breath becomes a bridge to deeper awareness, fostering compassion even amidst the harsh realities of war. Before battle, prayer beads slip silently through fingers, each bead a focus point, a step closer to balance and inner peace. The chanting of mantras echoes gently, a melodic vibration that fills the chest and calms the nerves. You can almost hear the faint clink of armor as warriors move gracefully through these rituals, their physical readiness mirrored by spiritual fortitude. The scent of burning incense lingers, an invisible shield woven around them, connecting earth, sky, and spirit. This intertwining of Shinto's reverence for nature and Buddhist mindfulness creates a powerful foundation. It teaches that strength is not only in the arm but in the heart that embraces impermanence, the mind that remains steady in chaos. Imagine now a brief ceremony's small offerings laid at the foot of a shrine, rice, sake, and seasonal fruits, gifts to the kami. The women bow deeply, their movements fluid, respectful, and humble, acknowledging forces greater than themselves. The sacredness of this act resonates beyond words, a reminder that the warrior's path is also a path of gratitude and humility. Reflect on how these spiritual practices serve not just as preparation for combat, but as healing salves for the soul, nurturing resilience, and offering solace amid the unpredictability of life and death. As you stand with them in this moment, breathe in the stillness, the ancient rhythms of belief and courage. Feel the gentle weight of this tradition, steady, unyielding, and profoundly human. Through quiet ritual and sacred chant, these women warriors draw strength that transcends the battlefield, reminding us that true power flows from harmony between body, mind, and spirit. Let the peaceful energy of this sacred space settle within you, a soft foundation on which the stories of these remarkable women will unfold. The quiet grove slowly fades as your breath deepens, carrying with it the peaceful strength and sacred calm of these warrior women. The mingling scents of incense and earth linger softly, a gentle reminder that courage and compassion walk hand in hand, woven through the very fabric of their lives. With this soothing thought resting lightly on your mind, you feel a serene connection to a tradition both ancient and enduring, a testament to the power of spirit that lives beyond time. You find yourself stepping softly into a quiet home, nestled among the rolling hills of ancient Japan, a place where the sharp clang of a sword might just blend with the gentle laughter of children playing nearby. Here, the lives of women warriors unfold in a delicate dance, balancing the fierce demands of battle with the tender rhythms of family and hearth. Imagine the feel of warm wooden floors beneath your feet, the aroma of steamed rice mingling with fresh-cut wood, and the soft rustle of silk as a kimono sways gently in the afternoon breeze. It's in this serene domestic sphere that the female warrior story deepens, revealing a life not solely defined by combat, but also by love, duty, and resilience. Picture a woman, her hands skillfully weaving thread through fabric, the steady rhythm almost like a heartbeat. Nearby, children scamper about, their playful chatter a light counterpoint to the serious training that will soon begin. She sets down her needle with a smile, the glint of her naginata, her trusted palm catching the sunlight as she moves with quiet purpose toward the training grounds. Balancing these worlds wasn't just a matter of switching hats, so to speak. It was about weaving strength and tenderness into a single fabric of life, much like the intricate patterns stitched into her garments. The household needed her care as much as the battlefield required her courage. Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine the morning ritual in such a home. The hum of preparation lids lifting from steaming pots, wooden sandals tapping softly along stone paths, and the murmured prayers whispered for protection and peace. Children, wide-eyed and curious, watch as their mother dons her armor piece by piece, each link and plate a symbol of readiness and resolve. The very air seems to hold a gentle tension, a mix of calm and anticipation. The warrior mother is both nurturer and guardian, embodying roles that, at first glance, might seem worlds apart, but here, they blend seamlessly. As the day unfolds, there's a quiet strength in the way she moves, calm in the kitchen as she tends to the meal, fierce in the training yard as her naginata cuts through the air. The soft clinking of armor mingles with the cheerful calls of children, creating a unique symphony that tells the story of a life lived fully, in all its complexity. And yet, juggling these responsibilities was no small feat. Imagine the subtle humor in balancing a bow in one hand and a bundle of cloth in the other, or the delicate art of ensuring a child's safety while preparing for the uncertainty of war. It's a dance perfected over years, with each step marking a commitment to both family and honor. Pause for a moment to feel the warmth radiating from a small hearth, the flickering light casting gentle shadows on faces full of determination and love. Here, stories are shared, tales of bravery and sacrifice, whispered lullabies blending with the memory of battle cries. It's a world where swords are sheathed beside sewing needles, where the heartbeat of home sustains the spirit. For the challenges ahead, than this delicate balance, the women of ancient Japan forged a path that was as much about nurturing as it was about defending, a reminder that strength takes many forms, and that the quiet moments of care are as powerful as the loudest clash of steel. So, as you breathe, in the soft sense of incense and earth, let yourself feel the steady pulse of this extraordinary life where family and duty intertwine, crafting a legacy that whispers through the ages with gentle courage and enduring grace. You notice how this balance extends beyond the home walls, weaving through the very fabric of community and clan life. The women warriors weren't secluded in solitude. They were pillars supporting the strength and honor of their families, guiding the next generation with stories and skills passed down like precious heirlooms. Picture a quiet evening, lanterns casting a warm golden glow ere after the day's duties. The warrior mother gathers her children close. The scent of simmering tea mingles with the crisp night air as tales of valor mingle with laughter. Here, lessons of courage are imparted not just through words but through the subtle example of a life lived with unwavering dedication. And yet, in these moments of domesticity, there's a silent acknowledgement of the constant tension beneath. The knowledge that the safety of hearth and home often rested on the sharp edge of a blade wielded by these very women. Imagine the gentle clatter of wooden sandals on stone as she slips away to tend to the village watch or trains beside her male counterparts. There is an unspoken respect and understanding within the clan, a recognition that her role is vital, complex, and deeply rooted in tradition. The challenges she faces, juggling the protective instincts of motherhood with the harsh demands of warfare as ancient as the mountains themselves, yet timeless in their human truth. The sharp contrast of nurturing hands and warrior strength paints a portrait both tender and fierce, one that invites you to reconsider the often one-dimensional stories history tells. Take a moment now to envision the quiet strength it takes to return from the battlefield to a child's smile, to switch from armor to apron without missing a beat, the perseverance required to live in two worlds simultaneously, holding each with equal grace. This harmony between home and warfront is not without its moments of gentle humor. Perhaps a fallen helmet becomes a playful hat in a child's game, or the weighty armor is momentarily replaced by the lighter load of woven baskets and cooking pots. These small glimpses remind us that even the fiercest warriors carry humanity close to their hearts. As the day closes, the mingling scents of incense and earth signal a time of rest and reflection. The warrior lays down her sword, her armor resting nearby, as she embraces the quiet sanctuary of family life. The gentle laughter of children and the soft whisper of the wind through bamboo leaves compose a lullaby of peace earned through sacrifice. So, as you settle into the calm of this ancient home, allow yourself to feel the deep intertwining of strength and courage, testament to the resilience and grace of women warriors who balanced the call of battle with the embrace of family, creating a legacy both powerful and profoundly human. And, with that gentle image lingering in your mind, the quiet strength of a warrior mother, the soft sounds of family life woven through the threads of duty and honor, you can now rest, carried by the timeless rhythm of courage and care that shaped ancient Japan's forgotten women warriors. You step quietly into the soft light of a tranquil morning, where the echoes of battle have softened into the steady rhythm of peace. Here, in this gentle stillness, women warriors take on roles that are no less vital, their strength now channeling into nurturing, teaching, and protecting the future. Imagine a training hall bathed in the golden hues of dawn, where the air carries the faint scent of polished wood and morning dew. The sharp temps of sweat mingles with the earthy fragrance of nearby garden slush, meticulously tended, alive with the buzz of bees and the rustle of leaves. It's a place where lessons unfold, not with the clash of swords but through patient guidance and shared wisdom. You watch as a seasoned warrior moves gracefully through a sequence of stances, her form steady and deliberate. Around her, younger women observe intently, their eyes bright with determination and curiosity. The soft thud of wooden practice swords striking targets punctuates the quiet murmurs of instruction. There's a rhythm here, a dance between teacher and pupil, weaving strength and discipline with respect and care. Outside, the village hums with life. You hear the gentle chatter of villagers tending to daily chores, the rhythmic pounding of grain, and children's laughter drifting from some pathways. Women warriors walk among them not just as protectors but as pillars of the community, guiding the next generation with wisdom born of experience. Their hands are calloused but gentle, shaping futures as surely as they once shaped weapons for battle. Gardens flourish under their care, medicinal herbs, vibrant flowers, and sturdy vegetables that sustain bodies and spirits alike. The earth is tilled not only for survival but as an act of stewardship, a living legacy of balance between strength and nurture. Within the quiet walls of ancestral homes and estates, these women manage affairs with the same keen focus once reserved for the battlefield. They settle disputes with calm authority, their voices a soothing balm amid the complexities of social life. Their leadership is quiet but unwavering, a steady flame in the gentle darkness of peacetime challenges. You might catch a glimpse of them at festivals or ceremonies, where their presence honors tradition and inspires hope. Clad not in armor but in garments of fine cloth and subtle colors, they move with the same grace that marked their warrior days. There's a softness now, tempered by experience, a harmony between fierce independence and communal devotion. Yet, beneath this calm exterior lies an unbroken spirit. The discipline honed through years of training persists, shaping every action with purpose and clarity. The lessons of resilience, courage, and adaptability echo in their guidance, ensuring that the legacy of women warriors continues to shape their world. As the sun arcs higher, you feel the warmth of their influence in every corner. Fields tended with care, minds open to learning, communities strengthened by quiet leadership. These women are the guardians of more than just land. They protect the stories, the values, and the hopes that weave the fabric of their society. So, as you breathe in the gentle scents of earth and foliage, and listen to the soft rhythms of life unfolding in this peaceful moment, remember that strength wears many faces. The women warriors of peacetime teach us that protection and education are twin threads in the tapestry of lasting peace, woven with grace, dedication, and an enduring heart. There's a quiet dignity in the way these women carry themselves, each gesture a testament to battles fought and won, not just on fields of war, but in the softer, enduring struggles of daily life. Picture them overseeing the training of young warriors, their voices calm yet firm, their eyes keen and encouraging. They teach more than just combat skills. They impart lessons in honor, patience, and the deep-rooted connection between discipline and compassion. In the training halls, sunlight filters through paper windows, casting delicate patterns on tatami mats, worn smooth by countless footsteps. The gentle swish of fabric accompanies every practiced movement, a subtle symphony of effort and focus. Here, the air is thick with the scent of incense and wood polish, mingling with the faint aroma of tea steeping nearby, an invitation to calm reflection after rigorous practice. Outside, the gardens flourish under tender care, with rows of herbs, known for their healing properties, shiso leaves, ginger, and ginseng that serve as both medicine and symbol. The women's hands move with practiced ease, turning soil, tending plants, and weaving baskets. Their fingers as skilled with life-giving earth as they once were with the grip of a sword. Village life continues around them like a gentle current. You hear the low murmur of conversations, the rhythmic tapping of wooden tools shaping new crafts, and the distant song of birds flitting through blossoming trees. Children learn to mimic their elders, practicing with miniature weapons. Their laughter a hopeful counterpoint to the echoes of past battles. These women are often called upon to resolve conflicts, their wisdom respected by peers and elders alike. You might imagine quiet meetings held under the dappled shade of cherry trees, voices lowered but purposeful, weaving solutions that balance justice and mercy. Their leadership is subtle, a steady force that maintains harmony without the need for loud decree. In the evenings, lanterns glow softly against the encroaching dusk, and the women gather with families and neighbors. Stories of valor mingle with tales of kindness. Laughter blends with quiet contemplation. They pass down histories and lessons, ensuring that the spirit of the warrior remains alive, not just in weapons and armor, but in courage of heart and clarity of mind. Their lives embody a delicate dance between strength and softness, duty and nurturing, tradition and adaptability. Each day is a testament to resilience, a legacy, written not only in the scrolls of history but in the living breath of community. As you settle deeper into this peaceful scene, feel the steady heartbeat of these women warriors, their enduring presence, a quiet shield and guiding light. Let their story lull you into restful ease, a gentle reminder that true strength often whispers rather than shouts, weaving calm and courage into the fabric of life. You find yourself stepping softly into a quiet chapter of history, where the vibrant stories of women warriors gradually dimmed, like embers fading beneath ash. Imagine the slow turning of the pages in ancient scrolls, where the names and deeds of these fierce women once gleamed, but over time became smudged, overwritten, or quietly set aside. The land itself seems to hold its breath as you walk through this changing landscape where shifting political winds blew across Japan, bringing new rulers and new ideals. Social norms tightened like the wrapping on a carefully folded kimono, defining roles more rigidly and quietly edging out the tales that didn't fit the mold. Women warriors, once respected defenders of home and honor, slowly stepped back into the shadows. Picture the courtrooms and councils where decisions about history were made, often by men whose worldviews shaped which stories were recorded and which were left unspoken. Official records, like the painstakingly inked scrolls in temple archives, began to emphasize different virtues: obedience, domesticity, and peacekeeping, rather than battlefield valor. The voices of women warriors were softened, sometimes dismissed as folklore, sometimes left entirely silent. Imagine the communal fireside where stories were once shared, lively, fierce, and full of pride. But as the centuries passed, the tales became whispers, then mere echoes. The elders' memories, once vivid with the clang of swords and the rustle of armor, now carried only a faint pulse, like a distant drumbeat lost in the forest. Reflect gently on the quiet forces at play: the rise of Confucian ideals emphasizing male dominance, the consolidation of power in samurai families who preferred to highlight male lineage, and the societal shifts that prized peace over war, leading to a cultural forgetting. The heroic figures of women warriors were often recast or overshadowed by male heroes in the popular imagination and literature. Yet, even in this quiet forgetting, the spirit of these women lingers hidden in the folds of traditional dances, whispered in legends, and rediscovered through the patient work of historians and storytellers today. Their stories, though once obscured, wait patiently to be reclaimed and celebrated anew. As you sit with these thoughts, imagine tracing your fingers along the delicate brushstrokes of a forgotten scroll, feeling the weight of history balanced with the lightness of rediscovery. The past may have tucked these stories away, but the yearning to remember is a gentle, persistent flame inviting you to listen closely and honor the warriors who once stood tall in Japan's ancient dawn. The fading of the women warriors' stories was not sudden, but a gradual ebb, like the slow retreat of a tide revealing what the shore chooses to keep hidden beneath the sand. It's worth pausing to feel the subtle currents that carried away their legacy. As Japan entered periods of relative peace, such as the Edo era, the samurai class transformed from active warriors into bureaucrats and aristocrats. The ideals of Bushido, the way of the warrior, became increasingly codified and, with it, an emphasis on male valor. The narratives told and retold favored men in armor, sword in hand, standing alone against the world. You can almost hear the soft shuffle of scrolls in imperial libraries, as scribes and scholars carefully selected which histories to preserve and which to relegate to folklore. Women warriors, their bravery etched in battle cries and dust-streaked armor, were reframed as exceptions or as symbolic figures rather than common reality. Step into a quiet Japanese garden where the petals fall in a gentle rain, and imagine the quiet homes where women carried on the traditions, quietly strong but unseen in official histories. Their strength became embodied in the roles of mothers, teachers, and keepers of the household, the guardians of family honor in subtler, less chronicled ways. Consider, too, the cultural modesty that prized humility and discretion, qualities that perhaps further cloaked the stories of these women behind veils of silence. It's like a soft-spoken story that you have to lean in to hear, carried in the delicate rustling of silk kimonos rather than shouted on the battlefield. Yet, beneath this calm exterior, the spirit of the female warrior never fully vanished. The legends survived in the shadows, whispered tales of Tomogo-zan, remembered in poetry and theater, inspiring samurai daughters and the occasional chronicler daring enough to remember. As modern scholars and storytellers uncover these narratives, there is a quiet revival, a reclaiming of voices that history once muted. This slow, tender process brings back a fullness to the picture of ancient Japan, a landscape where women were not merely bystanders but fierce protectors and complex individuals. So, as you rest here in this moment of reflection, you might sense the gentle awakening of these stories, like cherry blossoms slowly blooming after a long winter, soft, persistent, and beautifully resilient. You find yourself in a softly lit room, the kind where time seems to slow, and the air carries the faint scent of aged paper and polished wood. Here, nestled among shelves filled with leather-bound volumes and delicate scrolls, scholars pore over dusty archives, carefully unearthing the stories of the onna bugeisha, the female warriors whose legacy had slipped quietly beneath the layers of history. Imagine the gentle rustle of parchment as fingers trace ancient calligraphy, each stroke a whisper from the past. The scholars' faces show quiet awe and determination as they piece together fragments of letters, battle accounts, and family records that speak of these courageous women. It's a puzzle of voices long silenced, now finding their way back into the light. Outside, in open fields and peaceful parks, you hear the rhythmic thud of wooden swords striking in lively reenactments. The sun casts a warm glow on groups of enthusiasts, dressed in armor replicas, leather and metal gleaming softly, their movements a dance of precision and respect. The air buzzes with excitement and admiration as they honor the strength and skill of those who once wielded these weapons, not for spectacle, but for survival and defense. In nearby galleries, vibrant artworks celebrate the Bugeisha's spirit. Brushstrokes capture the fierce gaze of a warrior woman, her stance steady amid swirling cherry blossoms. Sculptures rise gracefully, embodying the balance of strength and grace that defined her. Each piece invites you to pause, to feel the pulse of history meld with present inspiration. This modern revival isn't just about remembrance, it's a blossoming of respect and recognition. There's a warmth in knowing that through the efforts of dedicated researchers, artists, and storytellers, the once forgotten tales are weaving back into the fabric of culture. These women warriors are no longer shadows. They are vivid characters in the ongoing story of Japan and beyond. As you take in the blend of quiet study rooms, spirited gatherings, and creative celebrations, you might feel a gentle connection, a thread linking your breath to theirs, across centuries. It's a comforting reminder that history, like music or a shared smile, can be rediscovered and cherished anew. So, as you imagine this journey from silent archives to lively stages and glowing galleries, let your mind wander freely, embracing the hopeful energy of reclaiming stories once lost. There's a serene joy in witnessing how the past can inform and inspire the present, painting a fuller, richer picture of courage and resilience. As you linger in this space of rediscovery, imagine the gentle tapping of computer keys as modern scholars digitize fragile manuscripts, preserving them for future generations. The glow of computer screens contrasts softly with the warm candlelight of old libraries, blending old and new in a harmonious embrace. Each digitized page is a step closer to ensuring these stories never fade again. Around you, voices rise in discussion, enthusiastic yet respectful, as historians debate interpretations, piecing together lives lived centuries ago. They speak of the daily routines of the bugeisha, their rigorous training, and the complex balance between their roles as warriors, mothers, and leaders. The air is filled with curiosity, admiration, and a shared commitment to honor these women fairly and fully. Now, picture a quiet classroom where a teacher reads aloud from a newly published biography of a famous female samurai, her story igniting the imaginations of young listeners. The children's eyes widen as tales of swordsmanship and valor unfold, planting seeds of inspiration that may one day grow into new explorations and creations. Venture further to festivals where costumed performers enact famous battles. There, movements choreographed yet imbued with the spirit of real struggle and courage. Drums beat steadily, fans flutter, and audiences watch in rapt attention, transported across time by the power of storytelling. There's a lightness in the air, mingled with reverence and celebration. Art exhibitions showcase contemporary painters and sculptors whose works draw from the legacy of the onna bugeisha, blending traditional aesthetics with modern sensibilities. Each piece is a conversation between past and present, whispering tales of strength, sacrifice, and dignity. You can almost hear the silent footsteps of these women warriors moving through time, echoed in brushstrokes and clay. Think of poets and writers who breathe new life into these ancient figures, weaving narratives that explore their humanity as well as their heroism. Their words ripple softly, inviting empathy and reflection. In these creations, the onna bugeisha become more than legends. They become relatable, inspiring individuals who continue to resonate. As you take all this in, feel the comforting rhythm of a story being reclaimed, a narrative once hidden, now gradually illuminating the collective memory. It's a gentle unfolding, like cherry blossoms, blooming quietly but surely, reminding us that the past is always present, waiting patiently to be heard. So, as the day winds down, allow yourself to rest with the knowledge that these female warriors, once forgotten, are finding their rightful place once again. Their legacy, carried forward by passionate souls, is a gift shared across time, a soothing balm for our restless hearts and curious minds. And with that, the quiet revival of these remarkable women warriors settles softly into the tapestry of history, a gentle reminder that stories, no matter how long hidden, have a way of returning to light, carrying with them the strength and spirit of those who lived them. You step quietly into a modern dojo, where the smooth, polished wooden floor gleams softly under the warm lights. The scent of fresh sweat mingles with the faint aroma of incense, a delicate nod to ancient traditions. Around you, focused figures move with grace and power, practicing kata, the choreographed sequences of martial arts, their katanas slicing the air in precise, fluid motions. It's here, in these spaces of discipline and dedication, that the spirit of the onna bugeisha lives on. Feel the rhythm of their movements, a seamless blend of strength and elegance that echoes centuries past. The naginata, once wielded by fierce women warriors defending their homes and honor, now serves as both a weapon and a symbol, passed down through generations who honor their legacy. You can almost hear the faint whispers of history carried on, the wind as these practitioners train, their breath steady, their focus unyielding. But the influence of the onna bugeisha doesn't end on the training floor. Imagine settling into a cozy movie theater, the screen flickering to life with tales of valor and courage. Films and documentaries bring to vibrant life the stories of these women, the fierce warrior princesses, the strategists, the defenders. The sound of cinematic drums and clashing swords fills the room, mingling with the gasps and cheers of an audience rediscovering heroes long overlooked. As the credits roll, you sense a connection forming, a bridge between past and present, where these stories inspire not only admiration but reflection. Their courage resonates with modern movements, fueling discussions about gender, strength, and equality. The onna bugeisha have become icons beyond history books, symbols of empowerment that ripple through art, literature, and even feminist discourse. Step now into a vibrant cultural festival. Lanterns hang like glowing orbs in the twilight, casting soft light on performers clad in traditional attire. The air hums with music and laughter, and there's a palpable energy as dancers reenact ancient battles with drums pounding a steady beat. The crowd watches, mesmerized, as the legacy of women warriors is celebrated with joy and pride. In the quiet corners of this festival, artisans craft miniature samurai armor, and storytellers share tales under paper parasols, weaving narratives that honor bravery and resilience. Here, history is not distant, it breathes alongside the living, inviting you to feel the pulse of a tradition that refuses to fade beyond these moments. The spirit of the onna bugeisha finds a home in classrooms and workshops, where children and adults alike learn about these formidable women. You can almost hear the soft rustle of pages as students pore over illustrated scrolls and digital archives, their curiosity kindled by the stories of warriors who balanced honor, duty, and compassion in these lessons. The message is clear: strength comes in many forms, and courage is timeless. The onna bugeisha remind us that history's overlooked figures hold lessons that still resonate about perseverance, identity, and the power of standing one's ground. As you drift through these scenes, notice the gentle intertwining of past and present, how ancient armor informs modern fashion, how tales from centuries ago inspire new narratives, how the spirit of the onna bugeisha pulses quietly in the heartbeats of today's dreamers and doers. In these moments, you're invited to rest in the warm embrace of this enduring legacy, to feel its strength wrap around you like a familiar cloak, steadying and inspiring. It's a legacy not just preserved, but lived, not just remembered, but embraced. A whisper from the past that grows louder with each telling. So as you settle deeper into calm reflection, let yourself carry forward the timeless courage of the onna bugeisha, a beacon shining through the mists of history, lighting the way for all who seek strength, honor, and the quiet power within. As you settle into this peaceful space of reflection, imagine the gentle flow of tradition weaving through time, a soft river carrying stories of resilience and grace. Picture a modern martial arts dojo, where students bow respectfully before training, their movements honoring the fierce women who once defended their homes with valor and skill. The soft thud of wooden practice weapons against padded targets mingles with the quiet hum of focused breathing, a living echo of centuries-old discipline. Now, shift your gaze to a festival, vibrant and alive, where dancers clad in flowing robes perform graceful movements inspired by the onna bugeisha's martial arts. The rhythmic beat of taiko drums resonates through the air, filling the space with an energy both ancient and renewed. Lanterns sway gently in the evening breeze, casting flickering light on faces captivated by tales of courage and sacrifice. You can almost taste the sweet scent of sakura blossoms mingling with the faint aroma of grilled dango from nearby stalls. Picture a small gallery, where artists unveil paintings and sculptures honoring these women warriors, their expressions fierce yet serene, their postures poised between action and contemplation. The texture of brushstrokes and the shimmer of lacquer invite you to reach out, to connect with the spirit captured in each piece. Nearby, a poet recites verses inspired by the onna bugeisha, the cadence of words weaving a tapestry of strength and compassion. Feel the quiet hum of a classroom, where young students listen intently to stories of women who shattered expectations and wielded katanas with grace. Their eyes wide with wonder, they trace calligraphy strokes that spell out names like Tomo Gozen, learning that bravery has no single face or form. The gentle scratch of brush on paper mingles with whispered questions and soft laughter, a testament to curiosity awakened in the stillness of a meditation space. Sense how the principles embodied by these warriors, discipline, focus, courage, translate into mindfulness practices today. The soft rustle of kimono fabric, the subtle fragrance of incense, and the slow, steady breath combine to create a sanctuary where the past's lessons nurture present calm. Let the gentle swell of traditional melodies, perhaps played on a shamisen or shakuhachi, wash over you now. The notes rise and fall like waves, carrying the stories of women who balanced the fierce and the gentle, the warrior and the nurturer. Each sound is a thread in the rich fabric of heritage, stitching together the echoes of ancient battlefields with the quiet strength found in modern lives. As you drift deeper into this calm embrace, recognize that the spirit of the onna bugeisha is not confined to history books or museum halls. It thrives in dojos, where martial artists train, in stories told by grandmothers, in the courage of women today who face their own battles with determination and heart. In this space, you are part of that enduring story, a silent witness to the legacy of strength, honor, and resilience that flows like a steady river through time. Let this knowledge settle gently within you, a quiet light guiding you toward your own courage and grace. And as the soft glow of remembrance surrounds you, allow yourself to rest, cradled by the timeless spirit of the onna bugeisha, carried forward on whispers of wind, the steady beat of drums, and the enduring rhythm of human strength. The legacy you carry now is both a whisper and a roar, a gentle breeze and a powerful storm. It reminds you that history isn't just a collection of dates and names, but a living tapestry woven from the courage of countless souls. Feel the quiet strength of those women warriors coursing through your veins, their footsteps a steady beat beneath your own. Imagine the future, where the stories you've heard tonight inspire new generations, where the lessons of resilience, honor, and balance guide choices, big and small. Picture young girls and boys learning from the onna bugeisha spirit, discovering that bravery can take many forms. That strength is as much about compassion as it is about skill. Now, as you settle deeper into relaxation, the calm knowledge that you are part of this unfolding story can ease your mind. With each breath, you draw in the wisdom of ages past and send out your own quiet courage into the world. You find yourself walking slowly along a quiet path, winding through a forest touched by the soft glow of early morning light. The air is fresh, carrying with it the subtle sense of pine and damp earth, the gentle rustle of leaves whispering a timeless story. It's here, in these peaceful moments, that the lessons from the past, courage, balance, resilience, feel most alive. Imagine the steady rhythm of footsteps on mossy ground, each step a quiet echo of the disciplined lives once led by the women, warriors of ancient Japan. They moved with grace, but their strength was unmistakable, rooted in a deep understanding of themselves and the world around them. Their courage was not the loud clamor of battle alone, but also the quiet, steadfast resolve to protect family, honor, and community. Think about the balance they maintained, not only between warrior and woman, but between duty and compassion, strength and sensitivity, like the natural world you see around you, where sunlight filters through the trees and shadows dance with light. They navigated the complexities of their roles with poise and wisdom. This balance is a rhythm that invites you to find harmony in your own life, embracing both challenges and calm with equal grace. Resilience, too, was their silent companion. They faced storms both literal and metaphorical and yet stood firm. Picture a resilient bamboo stalk swaying with the wind but never breaking, a perfect symbol of their enduring spirit. Through hardships and societal shifts, their legacy persists, a quiet yet powerful force reminding us that resilience is not just about enduring, but about growing stronger through the trials we meet. You might pause here to feel the gentle breath of wind, as if the forest itself exhales a message that these virtues are not relics of a distant past, but living guides, gently shaping how we move through our own days. Whether facing moments of uncertainty or joy, the courage to step forward, the balance to navigate complexity, and the resilience to rise again remain timeless gifts. Picture yourself now, settling into a serene spot beneath an ancient tree, its roots deep and wide, grounding you. The soft moss cushions you, the sun warming your skin just enough, and the world quiets, offering a space for reflection. Here, with your senses attuned to the harmony of nature, you carry forward the lessons of those fierce yet tender warriors. There, stories invite you to honor your own strength and vulnerabilities, to embrace the dance of life with steady confidence. Maybe you find a gentle smile crossing your lips, a quiet acknowledgement of the courage nestled within you, the balance you cultivate with each choice, and the resilience that has carried you here. As you breathe in the earthy fragrance and listen to the distant call of a bird, you realize these lessons are gifts wrapped in ancient wisdom, waiting patiently to be unwrapped whenever you need them. They whisper softly, move forward with courage, find your balance in the swirl of life, and know that resilience will carry you through. And so, as the light grows a little warmer and the forest hums its gentle song, you carry this calm confidence within you, ready to face the world with the spirit of the women warriors who came before. Their legacy is not just history, it's a quiet, steady heartbeat beneath your own, guiding and inspiring every step. The day unfolds slowly now, as you rise from your quiet resting place beneath the ancient tree. The sun filters through the leaves, dappling the ground in warm patterns, and you carry with you the stillness, the lessons, and the strength drawn from this connection to the past. The courage of those women warriors isn't a distant echo. It is alive within your own breath and heartbeat. I imagine, for a moment, the steady pulse of a drum, soft but insistent, calling you to remember your own inner warrior, the part of you that meets life's challenges with quiet determination. That same pulse has traveled through centuries, carried in the footsteps of the onna bugeisha, who taught us that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act in spite of it. Balance. It invites you to walk carefully now, between your responsibilities and your passions, your strength and your tenderness. Like the flowing river nearby, always moving yet always steady, you find rhythm in the interplay of life's contrasts. The resilience of the women warriors, who weathered storms of change and stood firm, whispers a reminder: growth often comes through bending without breaking. As the gentle breeze caresses your skin, you feel a soft reassurance settling in, knowing that you are part of this long, unfolding story. Your own life is woven into the vast tapestry of time, connected by the invisible threads of courage, balance, and resilience. So, as you carry on, moving quietly forward, let these virtues be your companions. Let them guide you through moments of uncertainty and light your way in times of doubt. And when the day fades to twilight, may you find peace in the enduring legacy of strength and grace that has traveled from the past into your present. The forest around you sighs softly, a lullaby of leaves and distant waters, inviting you to rest deeply, carrying these lessons gently in your heart.